There's a moment a lot of people experience but rarely talk about. Maybe it happens late at night. You're scrolling through videos about investing. People talking about financial freedom, passive income, retiring early. The numbers look simple on paper. Save more, invest consistently, let compound interest do its thing. And for a moment, it almost feels achievable. But then you close the video, you check your bank account. Rent is due soon, groceries keep getting more expensive, maybe your car needs repairs, maybe your family needs help. And suddenly that idea of financial freedom doesn't feel inspiring anymore. It feels distant, almost like something designed for a different life. And if you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. In fact, this feeling might be one of the most misunderstood parts of personal finance. Because the truth is, financial freedom doesn't feel far away just because people are bad with money. It feels far away because of how life actually works. Most financial advice starts with a very clean story. Earn money, spend less than you make, invest the difference, wait long enough, and your money grows. Technically, that story isn't wrong, but it quietly ignores something important. Real life isn't a straight line. Income changes, expenses show up unexpectedly, families rely on each other, jobs create stress. Sometimes you make progress for a few months, and then one surprise bill erases it. So when someone hears the phrase financial freedom, their brain doesn't calculate long-term investment growth. It remembers all the times progress got interrupted. And over time, that creates a quiet psychological distance. Financial freedom starts to feel like a destination that keeps moving further away. There's also another layer most people don't talk about. The human brain struggles with very long timelines. If I told you that saving a few $100s a month could meaningfully change your life in 20 years, that might be mathematically true. But emotionally, 20 years feels like forever. Our brains evolved to focus on immediate survival. Food today, safety today, stability today, not account balances decades from now. So when people choose between spending a little more money now or investing it for a future that feels abstract, the present almost always wins. Not because people are irresponsible, because they're human. And there's one more reason financial freedom can feel distant. The number itself is confusing. You'll often hear people talk about needing $1 million or 2 million or even more. But those numbers feel enormous because they're presented without context. Financial freedom isn't really about hitting a giant pile of money. It's about something much quieter. Control. The ability to make choices without money being the constant pressure behind them. That might mean having enough savings to walk away from a toxic job, or enough investments to reduce your working hours, or simply enough breathing room that an unexpected expense doesn't feel like a crisis. When you look at it that way, financial freedom stops being a dramatic finish line. It becomes a gradual shift. A little more stability this year than last year. A little less stress about money next year than this year. And once people realize this, something interesting happens. The distance starts shrinking. Because instead of chasing a huge, intimidating number, the focus moves to smaller, meaningful changes. Saving a small emergency fund so surprises hurt less. Learning how spending habits quietly shape long-term outcomes. Investing consistently, even when the amount feels modest. Not because it's exciting, but because consistency quietly compounds over time. And compound growth is strange like that. At first, it feels invisible. Years can pass where the numbers barely seem to move. It almost feels pointless. Then, gradually, the curve starts bending, and what once looked slow begins building real momentum. The hardest part isn't the math. It's surviving the long middle period where progress is happening, but it doesn't feel dramatic yet. That's where most people lose patience. But the ones who stick with it often discover something surprising. Financial freedom doesn't suddenly arrive one day like flipping a switch. It creeps in slowly. One day you notice you're less stressed about an unexpected bill. Another day you realize you have options you didn't have a few years ago. Then eventually you look back and realize something important. The distance that once felt impossible gradually disappeared behind you. And maybe that's the part of personal finance we don't talk about enough. Progress with money is rarely fast, it's rarely exciting, and it almost never feels impressive in the moment. But small, steady improvements over long periods of time can quietly reshape an entire life. Not perfectly, but meaningfully. So if financial freedom still feels far away for you right now, that doesn't mean you're failing. It might simply mean you're still in the early part of the journey where progress is hardest to see. And that's okay. Because with money, like with most things in life, the goal isn't perfection, it's movement. Even slow movement counts.